Yo, what's up? This is Prole, and you're watching the Prole Space YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. This week we are doing another Skate Weekly. This is week 1 of November 2025. This is also, I believe, the last week of the Skate-A-Ween event. A new event will be starting, I guess, next week. I believe it's called the 7 ply maple event. Some sort of, fall or autumn themed event that's always a fun aesthetic. Now I don't, who knows what they're actually gonna do for the event. We should all assume it's just gonna be another set of community parks and the same stuff they did for the Skate-A-Ween. Which is basically, do more challenges, earn more currency, unlock more cosmetics. And that's the entire gameplay loop. So until that changes, there's no reason we should assume that any of that's going to change. So so next event will most likely be very similar. But anyway, that's what's going on for the schedule of Skate. But what have I been doing in the game? Well, as I've said in other videos, I'm just skating still. I haven't been doing any challenges, and it's been great. I really enjoy just coming in and free skating. I often, find one place to sort of focus in on and skate for 30, 60 minutes, whatever, just chilling and vibing and enjoying the gameplay. Which, in my opinion, is the only way to truly enjoy this game. Without getting frustrated over, repetitive gameplay and repetitive rewards or lacking rewards. So we're focusing on the Lucre Financial Gardens. Lucre or Lucre. I think it's probably Lucre Financial Gardens. And that is here in the Market Mile section of the map. I'll show you here. Here's the map. Down toward the bottom. So this area has a ton of ledges, really long ledge sections that you can do a lot of stuff with, in combination with manuals and all sorts of tech kind of things you can do in this area. Of course, there's there's challenges around this area as well that you could do that make decent use of the area, like the challenge to do tricks on this sculpture. So you see those people doing challenges now. So what's been going on this past week in the skate universe? Excuse me. What's going on in the skate universe? Well, not a whole lot of updates really. No real any new information from the devs, from Full Circle or EA. There was, I believe, one communication yesterday about improving the game, and it was their weekly update, I believe, that they do on Tuesdays. I believe most of what they said was that they, acknowledged the issues that came along with the Skatoween event, especially the currency issue. The main issue with the event currency is that you can earn way more than what you can what you have available to spend it on. So people end up with thousands more chocolate coins, which is the Skatoween currency. Oops. So there's just imbalance in the currency and the game's little internal economy. More, they did add even more Halloween items yesterday that are again paid for items. So we got these zombie sort of guts items in the store that are, how much would this cost? $5, $6.50, $8.50, $11. So if you wanted this whole little outfit, including the gesture, you have to spend $11 on that. Despite the fact that people have tons of the chocolate currency and could have worked toward earning those clothes for the event, because this event clothes, but they decided to make those pay for only. So to me, the whole question of balancing the event currency is a little suspicious, because the devs would easily and for sure calculated how much coins are needed for the items they're introducing in the game, right? So obviously they would know that. They knew coming in that the currency wasn't going to be used for most event items. The suspicious part is, well, were they actually planning to make those event items and purchasable with the chocolate currency and then changed it after the fact to real money? We'll never know, of course, and that will forever just be a little conspiracy, but we simply don't know. Either way, pretty much I would say this event was a failure in terms of content, in terms of rewards for playing the event, in terms of making the players feel good about participating. All of that, I believe, was a failure. And like I said last week, Season 2 will be pretty important now, because they have to do a lot to make the player base feel good again about the game. I think that's the most important thing right now. I believe they're gonna have less and less people engaging with the game. That's just a fact, and they have to continue bringing in new people to the game and also keeping the people already playing, right? So they have to do a lot to make the people playing feel better about playing. Many people, including myself, feel regret about even spending money in this game. So if people are experiencing those feelings, that means that people aren't feeling good about the game, and the game isn't gonna be successful or be known as a good game. So yeah, they have a lot of work to do for Season 2 to prove that they aren't gonna just try to milk this game for whatever value they can extract from us at this point, and then just call it quits, or if they're actually gonna put in a real effort, both an effort from the devs and also an appropriate budget for the game from EA. We of course don't know what the budget is for this game, and we don't know if the development team is really getting the resources they need to make the game properly, and we don't know any of that. But it doesn't really matter. It's just what is the end product, and what's it feel like interacting with it, and at the moment it's a failure in that regard. So anyway, past week I've definitely enjoyed coming in and having sessions of free play and just cruising. And I'm gonna be posting another video series for Skate as well. That will just be the videos are meant to sort of be sleeping videos. Like, it's going to be called Sleep Skate, and they're just going to be long session videos of the game. And yeah, because that's what I enjoyed. That's how I enjoy interacting with the game, and so that's the sort of videos I'm gonna make. I don't know if people are into that, like the having Skate in the background kind of, or falling asleep to the sweet sounds of radical kickflips, but we'll see. That's my plan for this game, at least making videos around this game at this point. So this area is a really fun session. I come back to this area pretty often. Nose manualing can be difficult to get the input. The game doesn't want to recognize it sometimes. It feels like there's a really small window for your stick to fall into to actually get that nose manual, but I've been trying to do more nose manuals in my lines. Ooh, there's a pole. So we can expect the new event. I believe it starts next week. I don't know if there's a week break in between, maybe. I feel like it starts next week, so we'll get some sort of new content. I assume new. If it's like Skate-A-Ween, well, you should expect some new ramps, some new like little challenge areas, but no new map areas. And isn't that wild? Because for so long before the first season update, they were always saying, new skatable areas for every season. Every season will have new skatable areas. And then season 1 came along and there was no new skatable areas. Of course, their definition of a new skatable area is a new ramp. That's all they meant by that. I wouldn't consider a ramp a new area. That definitely comes off as, a new physical location to go to that hasn't already existed. in the map already. So, and actually me saying that reminds me, or makes me think that we might not actually get might not even get new ramps or anything for the next event, because it's still gonna be season 1. So I don't know if we're gonna get new ramps at all for the new event, or if they're just gonna try to reuse all the ramps they put in for Skatoween. I guess we'll find out. Not sure if there's much else to say. Not much happened this week. So, I think I do want to engage with this idea that I see on Reddit a lot, on the Reddit, you know, the various skate Reddit subreddits. People are making this argument that I agree with, but I don't think that they understand the consequences of the argument. So the argument goes something like, why is everyone complaining about the game when you can just ignore everything that's bad about the game and just enjoy the skating? Yeah, basically what I've been saying, right? Just free skate. That's all that's enjoyable in this game, so that's what we should be doing. That's how I will be engaging with the game, right? Of course, the issue, and I'm sure many people understand this already, but the issue is that if the majority of players engage with the game as just a free skate sandbox and don't engage with any of the gamified and modified parts of the game, then the game is not going to last very long. Now, you know, EA has whatever revenue goal they want to hit with this game, and if it doesn't hit that, it's going to be gone. You know, there's not going to be, oh, there's my game. It goes. Game crashed. So what was I even saying? Failed connection, huh? I don't believe that was my internet, so... Oh well, server crashed, probably. So what was I saying? So yeah, if the majority of players just don't engage with the monetized part of the game, then the game's not going to last very long. And we need the game to be good enough for people to be spending money on it in order for it to continue existing. So while I agree and absolutely don't want people to be wasting their lives on Reddit complaining about the same things like over and over again, and I absolutely agree with that, it's not the player's responsibility to fix the game. It's our, you know, all we're really responsible for is playing the game. And the devs are responsible for understanding the weaknesses of the game and anything they need to fix, and that's their job of collecting that data and fixing the thing. But people are gonna keep complaining until there's enough communication for people to feel like something's actually being done to correct the issues, you know. So while I agree that people shouldn't be wasting their time complaining, in a way, I'm glad that they are wasting their time, because that shows that there's, you know, people still want this game to be good and to be successful and for it to be around for more than a year, you know. I want people to be passionate and caring about the game. I don't want people to be apathetic about it and to give up on it. I mean, I feel like I've sort of given up on it. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to convince a corporation that they need to make a good game. It's not my intellectual property. It's a game series that I care about. It's a sport or activity that I care about in skateboarding. And I want skateboarding to be respected in pop culture, and I want it to be important and relevant to society at large, but we can't convince a corporation to make something good. Like, that has to be something of their own. Like, that has to be their own goal. We're not gonna prove to them that we're gonna spend enough money or something for them to make a game that's actually good. Like, they know what they're doing, and they know how to maximize their profits. What maximizing profits looks like is bad to us because it is not good. Them maximizing profits is bad for us. No matter how you slice it. Them making decisions to profit over creating quality commodities that's not something we're going to be able to fix on Reddit. The problems that cause this game to be bad are much deeper than what complaints on a subreddit can accomplish. But again, that the complaint, the chorus of complaints is due to the passion of the fan base. And if EA loses all the, if people move beyond even hating on the game, that means the game's dead, right? If people don't care enough to even complain, that means the game is truly dead. Like right now, it's hanging on by a thread. So I don't know. Let's see what happens, I guess. But my point in bringing up that argument that I'm seeing a lot is just that I think that the people like me that don't want to complain all day and rather have a positive community online, people like us sort of have to sit back sometimes and allow for the complaints and the haters to take over the space and just see what happens, because we're not going to be able to force people to have a positive community or fan base around the game. Like, you can't make people do that. It has to be organically created by the game, by the developers of the game, by the corporation that publishes the game. Like, that's their job to organize the players appropriately and control how we're thinking about the game to whatever extent that they can. You know, continue having us feel good about the game. Like, that's their responsibility to handle that stuff. So the people complaining about other people complaining, which I'm certainly have felt a lot, because I've hated Reddit this year because every game release is followed by a bot-driven hate campaign. But I think we're well beyond like the bot campaign. We're beyond that. I don't think it's being driven by nefarious things like that. I think it's driven by people actually caring about the game. And because like think about like my other example of Reddit being insane this year is Mario Kart World release and the insane negativity that was surrounding that game. And then one day it was just all gone, honestly. It's just disappeared. No one talks about the game like that. People will reference reference how the game had issues, but my god, it was insane. And then it's just gone. This game, it hasn't been like that. It was insane when it first came out to public, but it has since, I think, leveled off to a reasonable level of like, what is going on with this game? Kind of questions like, why is the game like this? Why is it so bad? I think those things have entered into a more organic space, and it's more coming from people that want the game to be good and want it to be successful. So I don't know even what I'm saying, but people are gonna hate, let them hate. I don't think they're gonna fix the game. I don't think people being positive about the game will fix the game. I think, you know, EA has to provide the budget and the time, and the devs have to make the game better. And to be clear, I've said this many times, but the controls and the actual gameplay is excellent, really good, just, you know, continues to need refinement and adding tricks. Oh, that's great. It's great. That's why free play is so viable. That's why it's so fun to just skate in this game. But everything around it, all the gamified parts of the experience are poor to bad. And it doesn't make the players feel good about playing the game. And I think that's exactly what they need to work on, is just how people are feeling about the game, about the future of the game, like what does the future of this game look like, you know? And that's going to require more communication from the devs, more honest communication, not just, hey, we're hearing you, but we're not going to actually tell you anything that we're going to do to fix the issues that you're having, blah, 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 blah. And I hope they, I hope EA and Full Circle can figure this game out and actually make something good. Until then, I'm gonna continue playing the sandbox skating game that this is, and ignore everything else. But again, if everyone did that, this game is not gonna exist, right? This game won't exist if we all do that. But on the other hand, you know, I'm not going to force myself to play a game in a way that I don't enjoy. So obviously, I'm not going to start doing challenges and stuff so that EA. Let me put it this way: I'm not gonna continue playing the game how they want me to play or how they want us to play, just to prove to them that they have a viable product, or that this game can make money if they just keep working on it. Like, I'm not in the business of helping corporations figure out their garbage. If they figure it out, great. I really want them to. I'm offering my opinions on how they can do that for free. Thank you. And they can take the all the advice they've been getting online on how this game could be good, like all that advice, like they understand, or they should. They have the data to understand how this game could be good and successful. Now they just have to accomplish that. And that is the question of if they're capable of accomplishing that. We'll find out. Do they want to accomplish that is a whole nother question. Of course, that question is for EA, the publishers of the game, and what they're actually interested in accomplishing with this game. Do they care about it, you know? Do they care about it like we care about it? Almost certainly not, but that doesn't mean they still can't make a good game about it, but clearly they're not gonna do the game we want just because we want them to. So they have to see the reason for making a game a certain way and for putting the money into making it. Of course, they already put a ton into this game, and they have a really good base for something. They need to cook it properly. So we'll see. They have the ingredients, right? They need to cook it properly, or else it's still not going to be good. You can have all the best ingredients in the world and still make a nasty, disgusting meal out of it, you know? I think that's all I had to say for today. This spot is super fun, really flowy. I have barely thought about skating this whole time. I've just been flowing around and enjoying the flow and the vibes, you know. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. Share the video, spread it around. Do whatever you do, but either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and look out next week for more Skate Weekly. Of course, this channel is not only a skate channel, it is my hobby channel, so you'll find other videos as well besides skate. So check those out. There's more to come. Many plans for this channel. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good week.